So people have been very worryingly normalizing anti-South Asian, not just Indian, but people usually call it anti-Indian racism, but it's just anti-South Asian racism in general. People on the left, supposedly on the left at least as well, have been normalizing this in very stupid ways that are nonsensical, even in their own explanations for it. Here's Kyle Kulinski doing this. His explanation for this would be, well, some Indians on Twitter pretend to be Americans who like Trump. So I get to post a literal racial caricature of an Indian from 4chan. Okay. Imagine this with, say, like the Happy Merchant, like the Jewish caricature with the big nose and stuff. Or imagine this with like a transphobic caricature. Then they'd get it. But it's an Indian, so it's okay, right? It's a fucking marvel that they don't see the same fucking thing. Guess what this caricature is modeled after as well? This man right here, Rajendra Panchal, who has a disability because when he was a child, when he was a baby, he fell on his face and his family was so poor. They didn't have the money for medical treatment. So his jaw was wedged shut for his entire life, and he wasn't able to eat solid food until he was 38 years old. That's what this caricature is from. And this is coming in the midst of a surge in first world racism against South Asian people that is also tied to recent, so-called Islamophobia. And South Asians, to be clear, it doesn't matter what their religion is, they're victims of Islamophobia too, because Islamophobia is just racial hatred against non-Latino brown people, basically. These supposed Islamophobes don't give a shit if you're South Asian and Hindu, or atheist or whatever. To you, that you're the exact same as an Arab. There's that aspect to it, and there's also this aspect of anti-immigrant sentiment in the West. People are very angry at Indian immigrants for taking our jobs and stuff. And at this time of a surge in that sort of racism, we have many people, supposedly on the left, just outright doing anti-Indian racism because of this recent change on Twitter where you can see people's location or the country they're from. Now, this is stupid on the face of it. It's not like because someone from India does something bad, you get to post fucking Nazi tier racial caricatures of Indians. That doesn't make any sense. What a ridiculous logic. But even aside from that, think about this for 2 seconds. Why would Indians post online about American politics? Well, American politics affects the entire fucking world. These people are Indian accounts are interfering in our politics. Oh no. You're America. You interfere in everyone's politics. You don't get to say that. The sort of thing that, you're seeing random Indians post, Trump AI slop on Twitter. Your government does that in every country in the world, not just random Americans doing it as individuals to make a buck. Your government does that sort of interference everywhere. As long as America makes its politics relevant to everyone else by interfering in their countries, every other country in the world can and should interfere in your politics. So shut the fuck up about that aspect. If an Indian wants to post about American politics, they have just as much of a right as you do. So please be silent. 2 is, do you not see the obvious economic reasons for this? These are people from India, a poor country. They can make monetization from Americans looking at their tweets, which views from Americans are worth more. The ads are worth more. The monetization is worth more. And you guys are so stupid that even an Indian can do your propaganda as well as you can, so it works. Even someone who's not from your country can replicate your politics so well that it works on your people. That's your fault. You can't delegate responsibility. That's another thing from that Kyle Kulinski post. What he wants to do is move responsibility away from Americans for how their politics are and imply that it's a result of this supposedly undue foreign interference. It's Russiagate for center-left people, basically. It's Russiagate for Bernie bros. If I was to use a term that I usually wouldn't use, but is accurate for someone like Kulinski, who's Treatler incarnate, basically, super pro squad Bernie Sanders sort of guy. So there's so many fucking reasons why this would happen. The USA makes its politics relevant to the rest of the world without them asking, by the way. People from poor countries, obviously, if they can make money from spamming fucking Trump slop on Twitter, then honestly, more power to them. If that's how they want to get by and feed their family, I have no fucking issue with that. And it's also just fucking racist. There's not any sort of analysis. This is what I mean. These people have no Like in general, I talk about this recently, these people do not have an internationalist perspective at all. They see something like this, like Kyle Kulinski's thought process. I can tell you, he's a very simple person. These people are all very simple. Here's his thought process, okay? I'm American. I'm the most important person in the world. My issues are what matter the most. This Indian is interfering in our politics. This is undue foreign interference. I'm going to make fun of that. I'm going to fucking shit on him because he fucking deserves it. How dare he do that? When someone with a brain that considers non-Americans human beings would think about what I'm saying here, like, okay, maybe this is racist. You know, this looks exactly like the Indian version of like a fucking Nazi Jewish caricature. Maybe I shouldn't post this. Maybe there's like socioeconomic reasons related to imperialism that could explain why an Indian would do this. Maybe our politics affects Indians to the extent that I really shouldn't be surprised when they post political shit regarding our country. As I said, it's not just racist, but it also exposes the me mentality of these sorts of first world social democrats. They can't see beyond their own nose. They just jump immediately to racism and diverting responsibility for their own failures, you know, for their own political failures onto like the elders of Delhi, the like conniving Indians, the Indian scammers. It's another thing as well, like the whole Indian scammer stereotype is specifically racialized. No one thinks about it. You know why there's so many Indian scammers? Because India has the most people in the world, you stupid fuck. There's like a 1 in 7 chance that if someone's scamming you just by the proportion of Indians in the world, it's going to be an Indian. That's why. But these people don't think about these things, so they reinforce these sorts of idiotic stereotypes while claiming to be on the left. There's other reasons for it as well, of course, like, you know, Indians speak English because, a lot of Indians at least, like 10% of them speak English because British imperialism, was that their fault? Like, many Indians are very familiar with how things work in Western countries because they have, like, a bureaucracy, political system, many customs that are derived from the West because of British imperialism. Whoa! Think about these things for 2 fucking seconds rather than immediately jumping to reinforcing simplistic stereotypes that are often very racist. But none of them do. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because it's fucked up, dumb, and stupid, both on the just pure racism angle and the chauvinistic